Hello everyone and welcome to another episode But It's Free. My name's Chris Kenner and today we are going to be looking at something a bit special because we are playing as the Revenant, which is a character that if you look up in the top left corner I haven't played very much. But the Halloween event is going on in Trove. There's all sorts of events throughout the year and this is one of the most prevalent ones. I think it's referred to as Shadow's Eve. You see a lot of MMOs have these sorts of things. I know World of Warcraft has one. But these enormous pumpkin dungeons show up. And they look different depending on which biome you're in. I think this is the Cursed Vale. And I'm going to show you a couple of these from different biomes with the Revenant. And also something else that shows up during this event. So let's get through here. Now, these pumpkin dungeons always have 3 floors. And the first 2 floors are randomised. Stab that to death, must be. Ow! Fireballs everywhere. There should be another enemy around this corner as well. You can just see it up the end. Die. I hit so slowly. But yeah, the Revenant's a character that uses the spears. So rather than a big sweep in front of them, it's just right in front of them that they hit. Ow. And then there's some other abilities. But the Revenant is what I really can consider the only true tank in this game, purely because it's the only class I know of which actually has an ability which forces enemies to attack you. There are plenty of other classes that are meant for being able to withstand a lot of damage, but the Revenant is far and away the most streamlined for doing that. Anyway, so that's that dungeon complete. But you can see that if I jump up as high as I can, it's like a pumpkin face on the floor with the spikes in the holes. I'll show you my mount as well. I can't. What are you doing, game? Oh, this sits the camera up so high. But you can just sort of see there. It's like a jack-o'-lantern with spider legs. Look at it move as well. It's a bit creepy. But this is one of the mounts from the event. There's several others. There's like a bouncing pumpkin head, a bouncing skull, and a sarcophagus that you can surf. Anyway, let's go and find another dungeon. Oh hey, would you look at that? Like the one that's right next to the one I just came out of is also a pumpkin. You can see how it's decorated to look like it's rotting. Ugh, it's grim. But these just replace the standard 1-star dungeons that you'll find. Oh, this one's got a different face on. And there's always these little portals at the bottom which will take you up to the top where you can get in via the stalk. So you're going to see that the floors on this one are slightly different. So this one's more of a sort of jumpy puzzle. Although if you get enough jump stat, you can overcome anything like this in these games. It's kind of a shame because it removes any of the challenge of it. But, I mean, you don't have to put loads of jump stat on. You can have fun running around without it. Let's just get through here. I think there's a tree sticking through the side of the dungeon. You get that sometimes. The spawn logic messes up. Yeah. You got these little pumpkin enemies that shoot. They don't give me any experience, which is a little bit bothersome. Well, you know, oh well. There's a special reward as well that you get from the end of the dungeon. It's always one of these sort of pumpkin spider things that you fight. Let me show you one of my abilities as well. I sweep my shield and do a ton of damage, and that's the ability that causes enemies and forces them to attack me. This class is weird as well because everything's just based on a cooldown. So I've also got like my spears ability, which actually drains my health to attack, and you can hold down the button. And then there's another one which I'll show you when I get to the next boss. But it's all just based on cooldowns or having enough health. Ooh, my dragon coins. Let's swap out my tome. I want that one. Right, let's go find another dungeon. Hey, now this one's sort of appropriate. It's like a witch's cauldron. And there's another aspect to this event. How do I get in? There's another aspect to this event where a special enemy will show up at the end of certain dungeons in this biome. How do I get in? That must be the front entrance. Oh, it's down there. Oops. This is a little skeleton guardian. There's actually specific decorations for this event as well that you can unlock from doing those special dungeons. You loot candy corn from the final chest, and you can exchange that candy corn for like random loot chests. It's a little bit convoluted really, but It works. Just get hit with a big smash. I'm not going to look at my gear at the moment. Look, you've got like things like these that are actually animated decorations. They're really cool. I need to add like a Halloween island to my cornerstone. Let's use my sort of special ability here. It calls down this sort of like swirling vortex around me that will regenerate my health as it damages enemies. Very powerful. But a little bit brief. But still, fun to use. It's certainly very good, especially if you're in a pinch. It's brilliant if you've got a team as well. Anyway, let's find another dungeon. Hopefully we'll find that special enemy. Here's something else special, actually. There's these weird sort of pumpkins that show up. And they're these giant pumpkins with like vines at the side that have little pumpkins growing all over them, like you can see there. But those little pumpkins, when you run them over with like a mount, you'll pick them up, much as you can do something called sunlight bulbs, which I haven't shown you. But these are used for crafting a lot of the Halloween recipes. And where does this portal go? It probably goes to a little sort of jumping challenge. Yeah, here we go. It's always worth doing this on a mount, because otherwise you've actually got to use an attack to pick these up, and it can slow the whole process down quite a bit. You can see there's like an enormous pit of spikes down there. It's not really worth it for that many, but it's a good laugh. It's always fun to try and see how many you can collect. It's much more effective if you have more people as well, because if you run over one of these pumpkins, it's not just you that collects it, it's everyone who's nearby. So if you have two of you going at it, then you're going to be getting pumpkins twice as fast, because every time you run one over, you both get one, and every time your friends run one over, they get one. You both get one from them as well. So if you have a team of about 10 of you, you can clear one of these in a few short seconds. I'm not going to do loads of this. It's just a cool little dungeon. They look pretty as well, and sort of spooky. I'm a little bit late for Halloween, aren't I? I lose track of time so much, I'm dreadful. Anyway, let's see if we can find that special enemy in one of these dungeons. Ooh, there's another one of these cauldrons. Let's see, where's the front entrance? Never find it straight away. Oh, is that plasma? That is plasma. You get lava and you get plasma. And I will come to those when I actually do the episodes on the environments that they're most prevalent in. Kill that off. Where's the stairs up there? Oop. Oh, Shadow Knight just landed outside, I just heard. Where's the way up from here? It's through this door, I bet. Let's keep an eye out for that later. Where's... Oh, here it is. I knew there'd be a portal somewhere. There's the boss. You're going down. Let's use my special ability. It doesn't cost me anything, it's always worth using. I so often forget when I'm coming up against bosses. It does make me slow though. You can cancel it, I'm sure. Now, where did that Shadow Knight appear? Don't tell me he's on the roof. Might be on the roof, you know. Oh, it was just that skeleton. Let's see if I can climb this tree. Oh dear, that did not go well. Ah. I keep getting caught on that. I'm normally better at this, but I don't have quite as much jump stat on this guy, because he's a relatively new character for me. Oh god, the whole thing's full. No, I can't see that Shadow Knight anywhere. What is that even? It's like a... Oh my god, it's like a skeletal spider! Now, if that isn't a cool decoration, I don't know what is. But no, no sign of that Shadow Knight. I wonder where he went. Oh well. Right, let's go and see if we can find the special enemy again. I'll get there eventually. I wonder if we try one of the non-Halloween dungeons if we'll have better luck. Let's see what's down here. Oh, can hear enemies coming from left and right, falling in the lava. Let's get this guy. Smack all the enemies away. That move is so powerful. Nope, no enemy this time. Perhaps we'll find him in this sort of Thor's hammer that we've got here. Maybe he's in here. shank what we can. I bet you those spiders are the boss. Each boss will spawn like 2 little mini enemies around himself. He's a ranged enemy. Die. There he is. Look at him. What's he called? Toadstrom. He's a mutant guy, isn't he? He's got like a sort of claw hand, like with a bear trap on, and a club with like the Cthulhu tentacles around his other arm. I think he spawns instead of the chest, and then when you kill him, he drops some loot. But he also drops some candy corn, which is the sort of event currency. So you've seen him now. I'm glad I was able to find him. Oh, falling off Thor's hammer. I'll try and show you some of the other pumpkins, because they're decorated differently depending on where you go. This is why I usually have a lot more of my jump stat. For some reason, the generation logic for the medieval Highlands sits it higher than everything else, which is fine, but it is so much higher than everything else, and sometimes it gets a little messed up, and you get these sort of hexagons of land that are all at different elevations to one another, and you can see that they're sort of trying to keep up with one another, but they are failing somewhat. It's a little brighter around these parts anyway. Look at my cool wings as well. I got these in a very rare chest. Let's have a fly around and see if we can't find a better dungeon. I found one of the pumpkins in the medieval Highlands. These are the sort of standard orange pumpkins that you sort of expect to be the stereotype. Ah, do not fall off. Ah. But these are just the same, they're just slightly different colours. There's this random room which is just a bunch of these faces on the walls and the little scary coffins. I do like this sort of random generation. They've done a really good job with it. Let's get rid of this lot. And you two. Wham! Oh dear. I do believe that this tree has grown through where I need to be. Guess I'd better dig. No, actually, let's throw some bombs down there. Sort of see where I'm meant to be going. Yes, down here. And I can get through. Here's the boss. Take him out. See, I hit for a lot of damage at this level, but I just hit so slowly. As I get more gear, I'll be able to improve my attack speed, and that sort of special ability from the Lunar Lancer helps. Levels my bag? Not very. Right, let's see if I can find... There's one more biome that I can access at this level, which is the icy biome, and I'm going to see if I can find a pumpkin there to show you another variant. Here's one of the icy pumpkins. I haven't really shown you this biome yet. I will do in the future with the ice sage. Look at the cool pattern on the front of that. But there's a variant of these for each and every biome. I think the Fey Forest, which I've shown recently, has like a rainbow pumpkin. I think that the Dragonfire Peaks, which I also haven't shown yet, is like a charred pumpkin. I'm not sure I've seen any of the others. I haven't seen the neon one yet either. Honestly, I haven't explored this event much this year. I do remember it last year though. Still have a lot of stuff left over from it. Let's take this guy out. Boom. Yeah. Ooh. I have a new item to claim. Oh, yes, I forgot to mention. There's a quest. You can see up in this top right corner, the whole event has these quests to go with them. It was that told me where to get that special enemy on Shadow's Eve. So it'll just sort of advance you through, and they're designed to show you more of the event that's going on and lead you into it. So it's always worth sort of following along from the Christ, I'm on 6 out of 7 now. Anyway, I think I've rambled on enough and shown you enough pumpkins. If you want to see the rest of the pumpkins, I do encourage you to just download the game. It's completely free. I've never paid a penny for any of this. And you can see by the levels on some of these characters. I've got the Dracolite at level 19, Gunslinger level 16, Candy Barbarian at 18, the Knight at 22. I've gotten a lot of gameplay out of this, and never paid a penny for it. So I do encourage you to download the game. I will try and put a link in the description. And let us know what you think in the comments, guys. And I will hopefully see you next time. Bye.